Hi, we're the HBP Group and we help businesses improve their IT and communication solutions. So if you're watching this video on our website, you're probably on our page regarding our Microsoft Teams versus Zoom for Businesses blog. If you're not and you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else, there'll be a link on this page where you can read the full article. But what I wanted to do in this video is kind of summarise the article for you and give you an understanding of how we looked at these two solutions and what our verdict is ultimately. So as I'm sure you're aware, in 2020, particularly in the UK, but across the world, the use of Microsoft Teams and Zoom absolutely skyrocketed. Of course, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, home working became so common across the country and so common for so many businesses that many of them scrambled very quickly to find a solution where meetings could take place, whether that was internal meetings or customer and client meetings, and a new way of working began to evolve. And like I say, the usage of these systems just was astronomical in where it went to. And although data can be a little bit different depending on where you look, in general, Microsoft Teams ultimately took the edge and ultimately has had more active users on the system towards the end of 2020, when it kind of went over that point of where Zoom was. But if you've already made your choice, or maybe you haven't made your choice yet, which one should you go for, and is there a real difference between the two? Now, if you know anything about the HBP Group, you'll know that we're a Microsoft Gold partner. So when it came to our choice was fairly straightforward. We had to use the Microsoft solution, and in fact we were already using Microsoft Teams before the home working and the pandemic kicked in. So it was a very natural progression for us. But in some respects that makes our decision a lot less informed than maybe others who looked at both solutions and decided on the best one for them. So what we've done is we've gone back and we've said, okay, well, where do these two solutions fit now, and are we using the right solution? So over 2020 and indeed into 2021 as well, there have been a huge number of developments on both platforms. So it's important to understand where both platforms came from and why they've developed how they have. So Zoom was ultimately always a video conferencing tool. Its aim was to create a nice and simple solution to make video calls between friends at home, but also to be used in the workplace as well. And it's developed from there. Microsoft Teams, on the other hand, was much more of a collaboration tool. And although it could always do video calling and voice calling, the primary focus of Teams, and certainly the advertising and the drive behind it, was about working together, bringing documents into one place, managing projects in one place, having conversations and instant messaging that linked in with your existing business users. And there was never a huge home focus on this. It was always very business focused. One of the challenges that the Zoom therefore had was to bring its tool to be a bit richer for businesses, rather than just video calls. What else can we do with it? Can we host larger meetings? Can we have any form of collaboration on there? Whereas Microsoft were lagging a little bit behind in terms of the functionality from particularly the video calling and that ability to have those nice features that went along with it. Now, over the past sort of year and a half or so, there have been huge developments, and in particular on those two areas. And if we're completely honest, Microsoft have really caught up on the video side of things. So key functionality in terms of the amount of people you can have on the screen, for example, the options that are available on a video call, now make Zoom and Microsoft Teams very similar when it comes to the experience of using them on a video call or even a voice call. Zoom have added some elements of collaboration, but they have stuck true to their roots as a video platform primarily. So then there are now different options. For example, you can have remote control of another user's PC over a video call, for example, but it's still fairly limited. For example, you get a very small amount of storage space with it, which is used for video recordings only. On the flip side, with Microsoft Teams, it's actually part of the Microsoft 365 subscription. So you don't buy Microsoft Teams and just get Microsoft Teams, you actually get the full Microsoft 365 suite. And depending on the level that you go for, that generally includes things like Microsoft Office, so Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. But also data storage through OneDrive. So that can be a terabyte for most users. It can go up, and it can go up to unlimited for users. and also SharePoint, which is used as data storage for your company, like a shared storage basically. Now, when you compare a 1 gig piece of storage from Zoom to a 1 terabyte from Microsoft, these don't even compare. When we also add in the fact that we've got the collaboration tool, so if we were having a video call, we wanted to share files, we can do that in the chat. If we want to work collaboratively on those files, so actually open them up at the same time and both read through, make changes and do that live, we can do that through Microsoft Teams as well. So actually what we're seeing is that when the need is beyond video call, Microsoft Teams has a really clear edge here. Now pricing then comes into it as well, of course. Now interestingly, despite the difference in functionality I've explained, the monthly costs of Zoom start much higher than Teams or Microsoft 365, which is a subscription you buy. Now, there are levels where you can go up on Microsoft Teams, but even at the highest level, it still remains cheaper than Zoom. So, why is that, and isn't that a bit of a catch, or is that too good to be true? Well, there is an element of setup here as well, because Zoom has always focused on simplicity. It's very easy to set up, it's very easy to sign up for, and it's very easy to start using it straight away. Microsoft Teams, on the other hand, because it's part of Microsoft 365, is a bit of a blank canvas. You can use it very simply and easily just for video calls, but if you want to set it up, for example, to integrate to your email, to your documents, to your storage, even to manage projects on there, both internally and externally with your customers, there is an element of setup that is required. And on top of that as well, because we're then hosting data within 365 and within Teams, we need to think about the security elements there as well. So what that leads to is some additional cost for professional services to set it up through a company like ourselves, and ongoing support as well. So although the cost may seem cheaper for Microsoft Teams, when you look at the whole picture, there is more to consider there. So ultimately, in conclusion, we believe that if you're a small business who just want a video call solution, quick and easy, that's where Zoom fits in. If you're a slightly bigger business or you have more complex needs and you want your video conferencing tool to do much more than that, particularly around collaboration and data storage, then Microsoft Teams is the clear winner. If you'd like to look into this further for you, we do offer a completely free review for your communication systems, covering your phone system, any instant messaging and video calling software that you're already using. We can analyse that and show you how it's working at the moment, how it's set up, and ultimately what the perfect solution for your business would be. So if you're interested in finding out more about that and getting a review, just fill out the form on this page and we'll get the ball rolling.